no matter what people say, my intuition actually, and also my experience, my research, my own research, and yeah, as I said, like my intuition, like gut feeling tells me that you can't really change who you are. I mean, you can become more of who you are, you can work on your weaknesses for sure, but for example, if you are not a very talkative person in general, or if you never really felt the need to be in the spotlight, like an, you know, like an actor or someone who's like doing stand-up comedy, you know, if you're someone who's rather shy, rather introverted, rather into like deep thinking and having meaningful conversations, then let me tell you one thing. First, I think we both are on the same wavelength. I'm similar to you. Second, you don't need to change anything. There's nothing wrong with you. And third, there are millions of people who are just like you on this planet. And if you don't believe me, just take a Google research or go on like Quora or any other forum and, you know, type in something like deep thinking, meaningful conversations, highly sensitive, introverted, whatever you want to put in, like on a search engine. You find that there are people who just think like you. And there was a big epiphany, by the way, a few years ago for myself. Because I always thought like, okay, I need to be more confident, and that was true for me. Because yeah, I was like really the quietest person in the classroom. I was never yeah, you know, taking the initiative for myself to raise my hand, even though I might you know, knew the answer or had an idea. I was never really speaking up for myself. And yeah, being bullied, having just a few friends that I could kind of trust was like, you know, was not the life I wanted to live, of course. And then I said, okay, I need to work on my confidence. Problem was, go on Google and try to like how to improve your confidence. Stuff that comes up is like how to be more extroverted, how to be more outgoing, how to be more talkative, how to be like the center of attention or the leader. You know, that's all that stuff that was not coming naturally to me. And then I tried to fake it, because they say, right? The experts say, fake it till you make it. And I think that's utterly bullshit, actually. I mean, when you study, for example, like personal development, motivation, human behavior, like in depth, there's a lot of good in there. Some really, really cool advice. But fake it till you make it is none of them. I mean, you can fake certain things, but you should never fake who you are. And what I also believe is that your purpose, for example, if you think like, okay, what is my life purpose? What is my mission? What am I passionate about doing? All that stuff. That is not set in stone. For example, me, I could like stop blogging, stop doing these podcasts, and start like just focusing on my sales work and say I want to be the best salesman in the world. That's actually not my ambition, but I could just decide I do this. And then that's my purpose, so it's not set in stone. But my core personality is, you know, I took like so many different personality types over the years, and I don't want to brag with this, it's just a fact. I mean, I've taken a lot of these Myers-Briggs personality tests. What else? Then we have like the fascination assessment, we have the DISC model, we have the what's the other one? The Big Five, respectively the Ocean Framework. You know, I could now list on and on and on. Strength Finder, for example. And all of these are basically all say the same thing. And that's what I think is also important. Don't just trust one personality test, for example, because first, they are all not really accurate. I mean, they can't, because every single person is different. You know, it's not really wise, I believe, to categorize people. But it's still like a great way to learn more about yourself, or just basically acknowledge it, you know, because truth be told, I believe we all know who we are if we are honest with ourselves. But there are many things we all don't like about ourselves, and yet it's like the way we are. You know, no one of us is perfect. And yeah, if you combine all these tests, for example, for me, I'm always like on this introverted scale, but I also have like some extroverted tendencies, of course. I'm much more intuitive than being like this, you know, here in this right now moment type of action guy, you know, like what I mean is basically, sorry, might be a bit too complicated. I mean, there is the option to be more intuitive, you know, to think about more about like insights and ideas and strategies and stuff that, you know, could become a reality that isn't. That's more about this theory. And then there's the side about this practical real world, and I'm much more on the intuitive. Although, you know, doing this stuff here, for example, and also the future content that is coming up, of course, I'm sharing insights, but they are also based on the real world, either on my research, on my experience, or on my observation. And yep, that's another thing. Don't let anyone else like determine what you can do or can't do. Just make sure, and now I want to recap this thing respectively, come to an end here. Respectively, embrace who you really are, you know? Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Only you know. I can't tell. I've no freaking idea actually who you are, but you know it. And for example, these personality tests, a lot of them are free, and they can just give you some more encouragement, let's say, to be who you really are. And if you want to have some more in-depth advice, for example, on how I, for example, go about, you know, creating a meaningful life from scratch, or how I've done it actually, and also how I, you know, like with everything, like basically the friendships and my happiness, finances, etc. I'm not a millionaire yet, by the way, but I figured some stuff out for myself that I know I'm going in the right direction. So if you also want to have these in-depth insights, right, that I'm not sharing in these videos because they just are too, you know, it is like stuff that if I put these in the free videos, people might watch it or listen to it, but they are not going to take action just because it's free. It's crazy, but that's also human nature, and that's why I share this stuff only in my premium membership. And I also I can get more personal with you. So I don't take this sexually, by the way. I'm just saying, like, to have more like personal touch, I can, for example, reply to your questions much more directly than just here on one of these streaming platforms where you're right now accessing this content. So yeah, with that being said, I'm rambling on and on a bit here. Have a great day, enjoy the journey, and talk to you very soon.